So when it comes to bisexual men, in the gay community they're usually placed pretty high on the throne, but when the rest of the alphabets need their help, they're nowhere near to answer the phone. Let's discuss. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Let's talk about the myth of bisexuality. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Beasley here. I hope you all are staying cool, calm, and collected out there. So today, I want to talk about a situation that was on display on last Friday's episode of TGIF. If you guys don't know what TGIF is one of my favorite YouTube shows. It's basically like a YouTube gossip panel, a YouTube version of The Breakfast Club, hosted by Claudia Jordan, Al Reynolds, and now the new host is Armand Wiggins. If you guys don't know who Armand Wiggins is, he's a big, somewhat controversial YouTuber on YouTube. Kind of like the black gay version of Tasha K, basically. But in my opinion, he is like one of the best replacements to replace Funky Dineva on that show. Funky Dineva, a big YouTuber, he left the show a few months ago. And they had a lot of people kind of like filling in for his spot. You know, a rotating chair, just like the Breakfast Club did. But it came down to two people for me. It was either going to be T.S. Madison or Armand Wiggins. You know, T.S. Madison has a lot going on her own, so I think Armand was like the perfect person to fill Funky Dineva's shoes. But baby, last Friday there was a quick can of worms that were opened about bisexual men basically being more so on the gay side of things. And Al Reynolds is the one who opened up that can of beans.
What's the point of taking a break if you can't talk to other people? But I guess everyone has their own rules of what a break is. For me, I would say a break because I wanted to be with someone else.
I don't know if it was really a break because she was also online saying how her and her husband were going to be at the game that night, kissing and hugging, and she was at the game courtside by herself.
Well, Joseph Savage says, I think both dudes are DL, quiet as kept.
No.
So Armand, is a DL man gay?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
He's secret.
Not bisexual.
Listen, Al, he's gay.
Okay.
Bisexual is so gay.
I feel like bisexual is still gay too. If you're a man, it's no shame.
Just own it. Live in your truth.
Here's the thing.
Wait a minute.
You know
Hold on. The two of you can't disrespect. Now we don't disrespect the trans. We don't disrespect the lesbians. We don't disrespect the gays. We are a letter in the spectrum. So don't disrespect mine, please. Let's not go down that route tonight. Let's not go down there.
Let's just be honest though. Most bisexual men like men more. Like, let's just be real.
Oh no.
I've never met a bisexual man that like women more.
No. You really don't know what bisexuality is all about.
Just
Okay.
There's no winning this right now.
Now, y'all, in that clip, there is a lot to dissect. So first off, I will say I'm a day one watcher of that show, and I never really paid much attention to Al Reynolds. Like, in my opinion, to me, he always was a scammer. You know, scamming Star Jones back in the day. But I will say, throughout the years of this show, I have really grown to really like Al Reynolds. I mean, I think he's fine. I think he offers like great commentary. And even though he's on the spectrum, I will say he is very smart and highly educated. Like, he's a professor, for crying out loud. But lately, Al Reynolds on this show has had an issue with taking issue with people's opinions on the show. I mean, that's what you guys are there. That's what you guys are paid for. You're paid to give your opinions. But lately, it just feels like, to me, Al Reynolds' opinion kind of overrules everybody else's. And if people don't agree with him, he just goes at them, and he just goes a little far to the left, in my opinion. Sometimes when he challenges other people on the panel's opinions, you know, I'm kind of like tongue twisted, but sometimes when he challenges people's opinions on that show, he tends to go far left and get damn near combative with other people's opinions. And low key, for me, it's getting a little cringy. Like, Al Reynolds, I understand, like, it's good to debate people on that show, but you need to dial it back just a little bit, sweetheart. Now, y'all, me as a proud gay black man, I gotta say that I gotta cover my bases. I don't want people all up in my spaces, but I will say that I love every leg of the LGBT community. Like, I love the L, the G, the B, the T, the Q, I, A, any day. I love everybody, even the people that are gay for pay. But I will say, when it comes to Armand and Claudia's statement, I gotta keep it real. With bisexual men, 9 times out of 10, y'all do lean more towards being gay. To the people in the comments that are gonna say, like, oh my god, like, why are black people so obsessed with sexuality? Like, why do y'all care so much? We care because we've been oppressed. We've been oppressed, and for the longest we weren't able to express ourselves. We've only been able to really, realistically, as black gay people, express ourselves within the last, like, 20 years or so, comfortably. So that's why we're obsessed with sexuality. We're all trying to navigate this shit. And we're all trying to make it make sense. But in my opinion, I will say, when you are coming out as, a part of the LGBT community as a black man, it's always easier to step out of the closet as being bisexual. It's always easier to say that because black people have a history of not accepting gay people. So if I come out of the closet as bisexual, oh, well, maybe my community and my family will accept at least half of me. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, bisexual men always tend to like men more. Now, I'm not a bisexual man, but I'm a gay man who has entertained bisexual men. They always like the bus more. Especially coupled with the fact that a lot of bisexual men sometimes discover that they're bisexual later on in life. Like, you have men that have been with women their whole entire life, but they have a gay experience, and then they end up really liking that experience and really embracing that experience. 9 times out of 10, those men end up on the DL, but baby, it's more than just a spell. For the most part, those DL men like the bus more. Especially with the fact that men know how to please men the best. Like, I just gotta keep it real, get it off my chest. A man is always going to know how to please a man better than a woman will. Another reason why bisexual men tend to stay in the playpen with gay men is because straight women, for the most part, do not want a bisexual man. Now, don't get me wrong, there are women that are down with bisexual men, and hell, down with bisexual women too, but baby, that situation and that setup is very far and few. Now, I'm not a straight woman, but I just call out what I see. 9 times out of 10, a straight woman does not want to date a bisexual man. They see them as fully gay. I'm sorry, but just to keep it all the way real, a straight woman does not want to date a man with sass, and they especially don't want to date a man that could have had a dick in his ass. However, I will say, going back to Al, even though I do lean more towards Armand and Claudia's arguments, Al is right. Bisexual men and bisexual women, bisexual people are an important part of the LGBT community. Even though, in my opinion, our community was just lumped together and we don't all fully understand each other, and bisexual men, feel free to jump in the comments and educate me. But like I said, I only call out what I see. Bisexual men tend to lean more towards gay. I always say when I talk about the gays, within our community, it's crazy how in a marginalized community, certain subgroups have privileges over other people within that marginalized community. Like, gays look down on bisexuals, bisexuals and gays look down on lesbians, and lesbians don't take bisexual women seriously. If they do, it's kind of like a fetish and a fantasy, but for the most part, each subgroup within this gay community just does not take each other seriously, and it's kind of like the trans people are kind of out on the outskirts, really with no type of help or care. The thing about bisexual people in the gay community, especially bisexual men, we look down on them but also uplift them at the same time. Like, bisexual men, most of the time, gay men either embrace them because they're more masculine, or we kind of just look at them with the side eye because they have privileges where they can kind of just step into the straight community and pose as straight, but also come in our community and get all the praise due to their masculinity or due to them being able to switch both ways. I've been guilty of putting men on the pedestal that were bisexual because they were more masculine presenting, and they were like more than 100% ready to put me in the more feminine role. And you know, that's how I like heteronormative relationships. So baby, I'm all fine with all that. Especially if you're a fine bisexual man, you can just come in and just ride all the rides, have all the fun, you name it. Like, you can come in this community, but you don't really have to say that you're a part of this community when you step over into the straight side. But fine bisexual men tend to be placed on a pedestal within the gay community, and that also causes a lot of jealousy because, okay, you can party and parlay in our community, but you don't really have to understand our struggles or ride for us within our struggles. Like, you can come in and, you know, get all the dick and the bus that you want, but when it comes to, like, you know, going to rallies and parades and doing things for, like, the cause of the whole entire LGBT community, 9 times out of 10, bisexual men are able to just get up and dip. They don't have to ride a sinking ship. They don't have to fight for a sinking ship. Now, granted, there are bisexual men out there that are for the cause and for, you know, they tote the rainbow flag and they're proud LGBT members, but for the most part, bisexual men are cool being, like, on the chill tip, on the down low. They're cool not being on the shit because no matter what within both communities, especially if they're attractive, they get what they want from each community. But overall, y'all, controversial opinion. I mean, I already stated my opinion, but I just gotta keep it real. For the most part, bisexual men just have to keep it real with the fact that they do tend to like men more. Like, I gotta keep it real. Like, I rarely ever see a bisexual man party and parlay with other gay men, but then go back and marry a woman. Like, I'm sorry. And when it comes to Al Reynolds, I gotta keep it real. I have a hard time taking him seriously as a bisexual man. Like, I'm sorry. I just have a hard time seeing Al Booty Toot Reynolds laid up with a woman, plowing her, you name it. Like, I have a hard time envisioning that. And just looking at him, hey, Al Reynolds, it's okay that you're gay. But yeah, y'all, these are just my opinions on bisexual men within the gay community. I can't help but call out what I see, and I do tend to cause a little controversy, so feel free to get in the comment section and duke it out with me. I'm all up for a debate, and I promise that there will be no love lost or hate. But those are my views. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to come back at you guys with some more content.